Here's a question I get a lot. How do I get customers to notice my products? Well, display them where they naturally see them and can shop easily, and that's what the Prime Selling Space series is all about. Prime Selling Space is where they can see them. The buy zone is right there between waist and eye level. Feature displays where you put them in a special place. They can't help but go by and notice them. And of course, cross merchandising. They see more of what you carry in one spot. If your best products aren't here, you are losing sales every day. And this is called Prime Selling Space. Firstly, we have comfortable reach to knees, and then we have the buy zone in Prime Selling Space, which is eyes to the waist. So people also ask, why aren't my displays selling? Well, firstly, you have to amuse, not confuse. There's a lot of reasons why things in stores look very confusing. And remember, they see it first. And so visual is really important. And you don't want them to be confused. You want them to be amused. Group and space based on color, pattern, and style. I'm going to give you an example of that shortly. And frame groups with space or size of fixtures. This helps reduce the confusion and make your shopping experience more amusing or entertaining and fun for the shoppers. Hi, my name is Linda McKendry. I'm a merchandising and retail design consultant, and I'm targeted to independent retailers who love to have the help of somebody that can do the things for them that they really need, like, and want, and can afford. Prime Selling Space is comfortable reach below knees. That's this area in here. Now here's an example. I'm going to show you how we took what was happening here, and within an hour we had it happening this way. And you can see that one's more confusing, one is more amusing. Let's look at an example closer. And you can see this is the confusing side and this is the amusing side. Within an hour, we had changed everything up here to what you're seeing over here. I had to catch a plane, so we did not complete it, but I did enough for her to give her an example of how this works. We're grouping, creating groups based on color, pattern, and style. We're leaving space between it and creating another group. We're doing things vertically because it goes within the comfortable reach and the Prime Selling Space. And this works really, really well. Down below here we have the children's, and they're on boxes, so that raises them to the Prime Selling Space. And this is just an example of how that works. These are called feature displays. They kind of set the tone or the mood and for what's below them, and you can tell at a distance what you're seeing, and you have a good idea where to go. In this store, I would put something to do with shoes, footwear, accessories, up in this area, and that would be even better to indicate what that department is. How do I make my shop look more expensive? Well, it's all stage 4 perception. It's the perception, the way people think about it, that makes it more expensive a lot of times. Less is more, fewer items in more space. Fixtures are clean and simple. There's a sense of exclusivity or one of a kind. They're curated fixtures and props, and of course the right lighting. Here's a little video that shows you an experiment that was done on that.
We at Payless wondered how much people would pay for our shoes if they didn't know they were our shoes. So we rebranded for a weekend. We built a fake luxury store, filled it with avant-garde sculptures and displays. We even hired a full team of sales associates. Then we filled all the shelves with Payless shoes and jacked up our prices as much as 1,800%. And finally, we gave it what you might call a fancier name. Welcome to Palessi.
95 with a pump like this.
I would pay like $300-400 for these shoes for sure. I'd probably spend about $500 on this.
Compliments are open up their wallet as our first customer. But then we witnessed more selling. Shoes sold for $250, $400, and even $600 less.
What? No way.
You've got to be kidding me.
Shut up. Are you serious?
I love Christian Siriano.
We get these same
Now we all know that was probably a lie. She probably just said that for the cameras. I doubt very much she will be shopping at Payless, mainly because as that clip just showed, people care a lot more about the brand image and in some cases the prices more so than they do about the actual product and the quality of it. Even though this is nothing new, it does make you think a bit more about the whole situation. You'll see that they're not really luxury items, they're just priced very highly.
Well, from one extreme to the other, let's look at what confusing merchandising is. This is not the best way to display, and here are the reasons why. Firstly, you're asking their customer to go on a hunting mission. Secondly, it's visual chaos. Thirdly, it's mental fatigue. It's a deep discount is expected. When people see this kind of merchandising, they expect things not to be of value or expensive, and it is assistant dependent. You're going to have to get assistance in order to even get close to some of the items that are covered up by each other. Some of my clients call me and say, I don't know where to put things, especially when they get a new line in and they're not sure if they have the right fixtures for it. So here's an example of a client whose store I recently did, and they're new into the giftware, so they had ordered some of these garments and they were ready to put them in the store and didn't know where to put them in. I had suggested that they take this space, and so this is what they did, and they sent me a picture of that with a little email. So I sent them back saying, well, that was a good start. But what I really wanted them to do, along with instructions in my email back to them, was to hang everything on hangers, and then to put the short, here we go. Put the short items to this side, the longer ones to this side, and then to put the shelf up here with the hats. So hats on the shelf long, and then that's kind of what I had suggested. But in my email, I also said, if you need to and want to, take away the base in the bottom, the storage base in the bottom, and then let them hang right to the floor. So this is what they did, and look at the difference. I've already told them to call the supplier to get more hangers and to hang everything up in here so that there's more. It's fuller here, but we can still have one that's front facing. So the reason that they put everything over here like they did is because this space was empty, because they had sold the items off that space and they didn't have enough product to fill it. They had already sent me a before picture, and I did make some suggestions that they could fill it with things that are in the rest of the store, just pull them from wherever they could, and to rearrange that. Based on the principles I've been teaching them, this is what they did. You can see all these items are rearranged in here. They've added a couple things here, and then they've gone through the rest of the store, and they've picked up some items and put them on here and arranged them so that it visually fills the space. It's a little bit scattered, a little bit skimpy, but it fills the space, it looks good, and it's great until the next shipment of products come in so that they can fill it with even more things. How do I merchandise slow-moving inventory? Well, we have a visual VisiQuad rule. Everything has home base. You always have home base, and then you have departments or categories in which those home bases go. Beyond that, you pull out items and cross-merchandise or feature them in your buy zone or your prime selling space, either on lower fixtures, featured categories, or in rotating into waist to eye level as you see here. How often should I change my displays? Well, that depends on your customers and your products, and we'll look at 3 things concerning this. Firstly, you can see that this is what some customers feel like if they walk in the store and everything they normally go to find has been moved around. If you move everything in your store, you're confusing your customer. So a simple rule is change your feature displays as often as your customers return. Change your store as often as your seasons change, and that just means where you have to take some things out to put other things in. Keep your core consistent. Always keep your core items in the same place for your regular shoppers. They love that. How often do your customers visit? Well, frequent shoppers, if you have frequent shoppers like downtown, people that work downtown and they get their lunch off every day and they love to come by and go shopping, then you want your windows to show something more often. Refresh your displays more often for them. We'll get this up here. Otherwise, if you have one-time or occasional visitors, such as tourists, a bus that stops for an hour or 2 in your market district, you can change less frequently because in this case, the same people aren't coming by, and so it's brand new to everybody that sees it for the first time. And then based on what are you selling? If you're selling seasonal products, they require seasonal updates. Again, in a lot of cases when we're doing Christmas, for example, we don't change up the whole entire store to do Christmas. We pick feature areas. We bring a lot of Christmas stuff right into those spaces so that the core items in the store remain the same, remain where they are. Year-round staples should have a consistent home base. Niche markets like winter getaway shoppers may break the seasonal rules. And here's an example. I had a client who was in a fashion store, and she had called me in to help her do window displays in the middle of winter, and she had me doing summer wear and beach wear. And I said to her, really? I said, it's freezing cold outside. She said, yeah, but she said a lot of my clients go to winter warm places in the winter for winter getaways, and so this made perfect sense for her to do, and it increased her sales for those clientele. Refresh. Don't rearrange the entire store. You don't want the domino effect every time you turn around. Keep the core items in a consistent location. Rotate feature displays in prime selling space, and cross-merchandise to create interest without causing that domino effect. You can see in this bookstore here, a lot of the books and journals have their own space, and they have their shelf where they belong when they're home base, but they're also paired here with seasonal items that are decor and come from time to time, and they're set out in a special place because they sell through more quickly. How do I merchandise slow-moving inventory? Well, again, let me go back to my VisiQuad rule with departments and categories. You'll see here that this is the home base. So this is home base for these items. Plants are probably in another area as well, all heavily stocked. But the feature display is here. This is where we take a few items from here, we take a few plants, we stage, we create this little staging area that put these items on. It tells a story, it gives a message to the customer coming by, and they can now see what they can do with that product when they buy it and take it home. What do I do to help independent retailers? Well, I help with operational merchandising support. We always start by evaluating where you're at. We tell you exactly what to move. I help you use what you already have. That's one of my things that I absolutely love doing. I help you decide faster in terms of what really counts and what needs to be changed immediately. We show you what you can fix today, not someday. We give you confidence that you're doing it right. And I have to tell you that most people are doing it right. At least they're doing the best they know how to do. When I started out in merchandising, that's what I was doing. I needed a lot of help, and I didn't realize how much help I needed until the people who headed up the department store came and helped me in the store that I was running at the time. And it made all the difference. I could see with my eyes the difference that their displays made based on what I had done. That was all that I knew. So I give you confidence that you are doing a lot of things right. You just need to up your game a little bit, tweak it a little bit. Shift a few little things and follow some of the basic principles, and you're going to be fine. And then I become your ongoing retail resource, which is what I love to do with my clients. So today's displays is my company. The time for change has come. Today's displays are tomorrow's dollars, and the right ones start today. Most retailers don't have a product problem. You don't need more products a lot of times. You have a placement problem. We've gone in and changed up stores and didn't buy one single thing. We didn't buy a little fixture. We didn't buy another product. We just rearranged things and put them where they make sense, where we're amusing, not confusing, and the sales go up immediately. So I have a free ebook for you called The Organized Retailer. I'm inviting you to get a copy of it. You can go to my website here, todaysdisplays.com, and you can pause on this and see what all the features are here. This was Velda's, and we boosted her sales 70% in 3 years until she successfully sold her business. So I'm glad you watched this video, and I hope you enjoy the others that are connected with it that are also about prime selling space. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.